Welcome to the Cryptonometron. Today I'm doing another ICO review. This time it's on Bitdegree. And thanks to the Bitdegree team, they have prepared a slideshow which has all the information on it. It's on their website and I don't need to prepare my own, which saves me time and saves me a lot of hassle. So thank you very much to Bitdegree. Now, what are they? Well, they want to revolutionize education with blockchain. And we'll discuss what that means as we go through. So they say there are 3 global problems with education currently. That is 1, hope and trust in education, 2, failure of centralized systems, and 3, unavailable or unaffordable education. And I would suggest that number 3 is probably the biggest concern for most people, notwithstanding the other 2. So their aims, or how they're going to solve these problems, is as follows. They are going to use a blockchain-based educentives that are driven by demand of talent to increase hope and trust. They're going to use a decentralized, community-driven platform with a token economy to address the failure of the centralized system model. And they are going to implement a global, democratic, pay-you-to-learn, provide job opportunities ecosystem to address the unavailable or unaffordable education problem. Now, what this means really is they are going to build a blockchain ecosystem that will allow students to take courses that employers require them to have, and these can be very specific or broad depending on the employer's requirements. And they will get paid to learn, employers will get paid to use the ecosystem, so everybody benefits. So we'll have a little look at the solutions in depth. I love this slideshow. Thank you again, Bitdegree. This is saves me a lot of time. I don't have to do my own. So the problem with the current platforms of education is that we'll address students to begin with. Now, as we can see, affordability is obviously a serious issue, especially if you're taking out student loans or you can't afford to do the courses or you can't afford to do your degrees. There's also little to no help during the learning process. It was a while since I've been a student, but I didn't get much assistance when I was going through it either. And there's no clear path to a job. And that is another, I think, probably, aside from the affordability issue, it's probably the key there because they don't really have, unless you really want to do something when you're younger, and many young people don't actually have a clear vision of what they want to do with their future, then there's no clear path to a job. I mean, that's before you even address what qualifications are required and everything else that goes along with that. So the Bitdegree solution for these particular problems is that you will get paid to learn rather than having to dish out a lot of money to do a PhD. Or a college degree. There will also be active mentoring and forums where you can find assistance online, and that's what we do these days, isn't it? With the internet, we actually go on and we ask, if we have a computer problem, we search for it on the internet. If we have some other issues, we search for it on the internet. So this will allow active mentoring and help while you're going through your learning process. And there's no clear path to jobs, and that's going to be addressed by employers sponsoring the learning path. So employers will actively sponsor courses for students that are willing to put in the time and effort to do them. So the other issues are with instructors. So we'll go through those. They are in college, they get rewarded for research, but not for the teaching part of it. In online platforms, there's no incentive to create content beyond the beginner or entry level. And in online platforms, there's a big financial investment up front. You've got to do all the courses. You've got to put money there to actually make any return. So the Bitdegree solution will be that instructors can earn tokens for teaching in-demand skills. They will also have free beginner courses. They will only charge for the more advanced content. And community finances development of courses. So if an instructor is requiring some additional finance to make a new advanced course, for example, that might not be that well known yet, the community will finance it so they can get it online. I think that's a fantastic idea. Now, as far as employers go, their problems are the skills gap. That's difficulty finding the talent with the desired skills. That's always an issue. And often employers find they have to compromise on this because they can't find a person with the specifics that they want, especially if you get more specialized industries and specialized sectors. Much like where I work, I'm an engineer, so I have very specialist talents that may not be suitable for all the jobs I do, so I tend to get pigeonholed quite easily. Also, employers are they find it hard to assess the skill level and potential performance of candidates, which makes it difficult to recruit properly. And also, they have problems with the technologies and standards of the actual training, which keeps changing all the time. So there will be employer-sponsored content, so an employer can actively sponsor the courses that they want the candidate to have, and then employ the candidate based on the skill set that they have going through the BitDegree ecosystem. So they'll get exactly what they want when they're hiring. There'll also be an immutable record of student performance stored on the blockchain, which will address the skill level and potential performance. It's not always evident from a CV, but it will be better stored on the blockchain and then referred to by the employer, so they can actually see what the candidate has achieved, what scores, and other such related data. And also, the BitDegree solution will contain the most up-to-date material. It will be decentralized content creation that will be updated all the time by the community, so that will address the changing technology and standards. So how are they going to achieve all of this? Well, they're going to obviously use a blockchain ecosystem, and this is how it's going to be possible. There will be a shared upside. That will mean that the token will be used in the operation cycles of the learning platform and will represent future access to a platform services. So the more users and content that BitDegree has, the bigger network effect becomes. They will employ decentralization. So the community of token owners, the employers, instructors, and students alike will lead the decisions as to what to teach in the platform. So BitDegree will act as a light moderator, if you like, just to maybe address any things that go askew, but in general, the community decides. There will also be immutable records, which I mentioned before, and that means that students can easily identify the best instructors, employers can identify the best students, and instructors have access to comprehensive statistics about the best performing topics across the platform. Essentially, what that means, it's a meritocracy, so the best students get rewarded, the best employers will get rewarded, the best instructors will get rewarded as well, as they will get used more often. So very good. And here is an example of the token economy, how the token is going to be applied. So you'll have this triangular model, as we can see here. So you have the BitDegree Educentive ecosystem. You will have the educators at the top. They have an incentive to teach because they will receive tokens for doing so. You will have the employers as well, and they have a need for talent, and they will receive tokens for using the system, and also they will put tokens into the system to ensure that the content is created and used by the students. And then you have the students, or the learners, down on the left-hand side there, who have the incentive to learn. They will actually get rewarded for learning. So in effect, it's sort of gamifying the learning, if you like, that a student will want to reach the next level of their course development, get leveled up, but they also get almost a fiscal reward, or a crypto reward, if you like, for doing so. So they've got a massive incentive to actually go out there and learn. Whereas, you know, I know what you like, students. You like lying about in your pipe and slippers, smoking ganja. So, you know, this will actually incentivize you to get off your lazy arses. So the token economy is as follows. Again, learners, students, why buy the tokens? Well, you can complete the more advanced courses that you need to pay for with the tokens. You will get the entry to the job board and career services, and you can donate to projects and content that's absent from the platform that you think might be suitable. You can also earn tokens, as I mentioned before, so completing free courses will earn you tokens. You can mentor other learners if you're in a more advanced position. You can answer forum questions, and there will be promotions as well, one-time events, airdrops, etc. in the future. Now, instructors can use tokens because they can promote courses by offering a token incentive. So that's their incentive to buy the tokens themselves. But they can also earn tokens by advanced course creation, content updates, mentorship of learning, and answering questions in forums as well. Now, how do employers, why would they buy tokens? Well, obviously they're going to sponsor the course creation and the students, as I mentioned before, almost like a scholarship, as it points out. And they also want to build the brand through platform technology evangelization. And they can earn tokens making partnerships with content creators and with the potential for self-sustaining projects. BitDegree, they will buy tokens for the occasional promotion, and they will earn tokens through the transaction fees. So they will get a percentage of all the transaction fees on the network. And we can see here, here's the prototype, which I don't believe is active at the moment. So they are in the design and programming stage at the moment, I believe. And you can see there, the company then decides on the amount to sponsor, decides on the position title, decides what skills are needed, decides the number of students in the class, decides what percentage of tokens can be used, decides what percentage goes to the scholarship. They then buy the tokens on a crypto exchange, they open their position with a smart contract, and this then allows the BitDegree Foundation to get paid. Some will go into the scholarship pool, 50% it looks like there. And then some will go into the community pool, some will go to the content provider, the instructor, and some will also go to mentors as well, which can be instructors as well. And this will assist the student to learn, and the student can then learn the skills, receive tokens for achievements, can complete the tests immediately to prove that they can apply for the position, and with enough tokens can actually apply for the position, and then they can pay for the more advanced courses, as you can see. And students can also obtain the tokens from the crypto exchanges as well. So as an example of payment for the e-learning, there's 6 levels, as we can see here. Level 1, the entry level, will be free, and then the other 5 levels will be paid for by tokens. So the student will get enough tokens to pay for the second level courses by completing level 1, and it's an incentive to continue. And then to pay for the rest, the student can either buy more tokens, work as a mentor, and help others. And then the student can apply for a job after completing the level 6 course. So example of the learning path here. As you can see, it will be pretty much straightforward as soon as the student starts the BitDegree course, whatever that is. In this case, it's a full stack developer course. They become a junior developer, they go on to another advanced course, and then become a senior developer, and that's of interest to the employer. So the technology, as far as that's concerned, they already have a working MVP, and that is in the form of a course already. I had a look at it earlier. It looked pretty good. It looked very similar to the online learning platforms that I've both used and implemented before. And this one is on basics of Solidity, the Ethereum programming language. It looked very interesting. Something if I had more free time I'd like to go through myself. So that's already implemented, and you can do the basic course already. So let's look at the team. So there are the 3 guys at the top level of the team, and then it cascades down to the other 3 at the bottom there, I believe, who are mostly on for advisory capacity. But these are the sort of most valuable players, if you like, if that's what you want to call them. Andreas is the creator of 000 Web Host, the first cloud web hosting platform. Jeff Burton was the guy that stood out to me. He's a serial entrepreneur, but he's also the co-founder of Electronic Arts, and He's a major advisor on this project, and he gets the most valuable player award for me. And you can go and check all of these guys out. They all have their LinkedIn pages connected to the website. A lot of the other advisors and team members were very competent and good at what they do. And there's the team bootstrapped entrepreneurs in the brewery having a piss up. So what about the token sale? Let's have a look at it. Well, it's first of all, we won't have to go much into depth here. It's going to be transparent, obviously, equal opportunity, fair rules for everybody, which I like. But also what I have to mention here is it is 100% law compliant with the Lithuanian bank and the EU, a European Central Bank, where it's taking place. So that's good to know. It started on the 1st of December and will run to the 30th of December. And then I presume tokens will hit the exchange shortly after that. As we can see, there is a hard cap at 336,600,000 BDG tokens. So that's the ticker, BDG. It is a utility token. As we've mentioned already, we've comprehensively covered the use for the token. The maximum goal is 30,000 Ethereum. It sounds like a lot, but really these days with these types of ICOs, it's not that much. The jurisdiction, as I mentioned before, is Lithuania in the EU. They are using an escrow for this, and the exchange rate works out about 1 Ethereum for 10,000 BDG without bonuses, sorry. So the smart contract can be viewed on GitHub. It's already there. So aside from the MVP course that you can actually access, you can go and check out the smart contract on GitHub. There will be a total of 660 million tokens eventually, and the accepted currency will be Ethereum. So who are their partners? Some interesting ones here, and one notable one that is missing from this slide is Ethos. Ethos have now partnered with Bitdegree to provide courses for cryptocurrency learning, which is very interesting. I noticed that this only happened a few days ago, so it's not been updated on the white paper or the slideshow yet. So Ethos is probably the biggest partner at the moment, but they're also partnered with Zcoin, SingularityNet, TokenLot, the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance. Hostinger, who we mentioned earlier, is the sort of parent company for this venture. Bitcoin Foundation, 000 Web Host, where one of the co-founders is the CEO of that company. NextChange and Preply. So they are very active on the community. This is great. I don't have to do anything here, just go through their slides. They are active on all the main community channels. They have almost 11,000 followers on Telegram. They post regularly on Facebook. They have loads of blogs on Medium. They're on Twitter. And that's what I like to see. Active community, active social media, and active community support, and large community support, so that you know that there's going to be some traction when this goes to the exchanges. If they don't have community support, nobody has heard about this. It's going to be harder for you, if you're looking to make a profit out of this ICO, it's going to be harder for you to sell your tokens. So this is all over the place. There's a bounty campaign going on, there's advertising campaigns, so there's a lot of interest in this. Now, they'll use the funds as follows: 25% for marketing and business development, 30% for course development, 8% to cover operational costs, 2% for security, 5% will be held in reserve, and 30% will go towards the Bitdegree platform. The distribution of tokens is as follows. There will be a bounty campaign. 2% will go to that. 2% will go to the advisors and partners, which is quite low, I think, for an ICO of this stature. 10% will go to the team itself, 10% will go to the foundation, 25% to scholarships, and 51% is available for the public. And there are vesting periods for the advisory board and team tokens as well. So as we mentioned, it is a utility token. It's certified by the Central Bank of Lithuania and the European Central Bank. So let's look at the roadmap here. Now, the market is about the only thing we haven't covered here. I'm not sure this slideshow will, but they have already a 29 million user base that use their services. So they've got that captive audience to promote amongst them. So they've got 29 million of them on 000 web host and Hostinger. So that's happened already from 2007 up until last year. Going forward, they started about the web fundamentals in spring of 2017. 2017 summer and autumn, they started to build the Ethereum smart contract for the upcoming ICO. They then will go on in early spring of 2018 to launch some of the best IT learning courses that they have managed to receive. In Q2, Q3, they will accept the token in the Bitdegree ecosystem. So the first scholarship will be issued, the student sector will be built, and they can start marketing activities aimed at students as well. Q4 2018, they will launch the business platform with an emphasis on development of courses with the in-demand skills required. And then in the future going forward, there'll be third-party integrations, building SDKs, Bitdegree for Business, Bitdegree Jobs, a whole lot of interesting ideas they have there, and you know, ripe for expansion, I think. Just to point out, they also won Moonrise 2017. They won first grand prize winner as the most promising and innovative crypto startup. And as I mentioned before, they are on social media. Okay, so what are my positives that I take from this ICO? So the first off is that they have a working MVP already, and there are other companies, as you can see, that are interested in working with them towards providing educational resources, which is good. So they are already on the way to a functioning product. The second thing is they have a very low token price at about 8 cents per token, which means the potential for this to make money for investors and token holders is quite large. Now, the overall supply, I believe, is going to be 660 million, but some of that will be vested for a period of time, 3 to 12 months. So circulating supply will not reach maximum for some time. And this allows the token price, or should give the token price, some room for growth. Additionally, there will be around 336 million if the hard cap is met that hits the exchange after the ICO. So we can see that if we do a little rough math, it works out at over $25 million at a hard cap. So I think this project is worth a lot more than that, hence my reason for saying it is a low token price. There's room for growth there. I wouldn't be surprised to see a 40 or 50 or even higher cent token. They have a strong team. I think the team is competent and can deliver. I don't have any doubts about their ability to actually implement this. The whole website's very well done, the presentations, everything about this ICO, bar a few small spelling mistakes, which I nitpick, I always do. It really, it smacks of true professionalism. They've done a great job so far. And to add to that and compound that, they have a clear vision and roadmap of where they want to go with this project, what they want to do with it, how they're going to implement, what the token utility is going to be. It's quite easy to understand. You don't have to be too technically minded to bring it on board and know what they want to do with it and how it's going to benefit, what problems they're going to address. So this is what I mean by clear vision. There's a definite promise to this, and if they know where they're going, they will be able to implement it. And again, to add to that as well, there is a real token utility within the blockchain ecosystem. So it's not just a loyalty points token or something, or an ambiguous use. There is actually a real use for this utility token here. So students will get paid. Students can buy courses. Employers can pay for content, and instructors can get paid as well. So there is a use for all involved in the ecosystem. And I think as well, my number 6 positive for this ICO is that industry growth in this sector is pretty much certain. And this, the reason I say this is that there are traditional methods of education still being employed to billions of people around the world, and that will change over time as we change as a people, as we progress. Classroom learning may not be around far in the future. Number 7, I think it's a unique idea. I haven't seen anything that's really addressing educational issues, so it's unique. It's not got much. It's certainly within the crypto space. It's not got any competition as far as I'm aware. There are 2 competitors which are not related to crypto. There's Coursera, I believe, is the course deliverer, and they are partnered with some major universities like Stanford. But as far as I'm aware, there isn't a crypto company that's in the same space competing for the same piece of the pie. Number 8, this addresses real concerns, as I mentioned earlier. The concerns of students, instructors, and employers. They are real concerns. They are voiced all the time, and this actually addresses them. So I think it's a fantastic idea. And number 9, my last positive I will say on this ICO is that this may well be the model for future educational systems. Back to what I mean about industrial growth moving forward. Home learning, incentive-based learning, gamified learning, if you like, may well be the future model for educational systems. As ever with all ICOs, there are some negatives. Not many with this one, but there are some. Number 1, the competition already online for online learning is stiff, and it's already established, which may make it difficult for Bitdegree to make their mark in the territory. Now, the competition directly that I mentioned is possibly Coursera, and they're partnered already and established already with many recognized universities and recognized educational establishments. So it's going to be difficult for them to get and stake their claim for this. Can they do it? Certainly can, but it's going to be difficult. And then, I haven't even mentioned all the other online learning resources like Udemy and Teachable and all of those that have already been going for some time. The second negative is there is a high total token supply, and there will be a relatively high circulating supply when it hits the exchanges. There will be over 300 million tokens on the exchange. There will be a total supply of 660 million tokens. Now that's relatively high. I would like to see a lot less. Obviously, as an investor, if I'm going into this project, the lower number of tokens is of benefit to me, as it means I can make more returns if this project takes off. Number 3 negative is the blockchain technology is not yet implemented. We're still looking to see some proven blockchain technology behind this platform. So that's some time away yet before they start implementing it. So it's one of my negatives there. And number 4, it's a longer roadmap than I would have liked. It goes all the way into 2019, as we saw. It's longer than I would like, but hopefully they can speed that up if they're successful. But most importantly, that they take their time and they actually do implement what they say they're going to do. So that's my negatives for this ICO. What's my verdict on this? Top of the class. I give this ICO 4 out of 5 stars. I think it has a lot of future potential. I like it. It only came to my attention earlier today, and I've already decided to invest in this ICO. I've already done so. I think it has a lot of potential for the future. It's a different way of implementing an educational model, gamifying student learning and rewarding instructors and allowing more control over what employers want their students to be qualified in. So I think it ticks a lot of boxes. The negatives, as I said, they lose 1 star for not having an actual working blockchain system at the moment. The courses are there, but not the actual ecosystem. So that's why they lost 1 star, amongst other very, very minor things as well. I think it's a great project going forward. So there you go, guys. There's my review of Bitdegree. As ever, I've got to say the stupid disclaimer. Sorry. So here it is. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. So if you're going to invest, please only invest what you can afford to lose. Invest wisely, invest cautiously, and do your own due diligence, do your own research as well. It's very important that you go out and satisfy yourself. You don't just go into something on the voice of it, or the opinion of a YouTuber. That would be incredibly stupid. So there you go. Now, thanks for watching. I will be back with another ICO review tomorrow. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and please subscribe to my channel. Every little bit helps. It takes a long time to put these reviews together and go through the tokens and all the different criteria. And actually, tomorrow I will do a video on how I actually assess my ICOs. I'll take you through what criteria I look for and whether certain ICOs fit the bill or not, and what's important to me for an investment. So that should be interesting. So again, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good evening, and I'll see you tomorrow.